Hello everybody and welcome to My Hero Academia Chapter 313 review. This chapter is titled High Speed Long Range Mobile Cannon. Now before we start off this chapter review, I know this chapter came out about a month ago at the time I'm recording this. I don't know whenever I will be able to post this, so sorry about that delay there. Just had some stuff going on where I couldn't film some. And yeah, so I'm just going to get back where this chapter starts. Okay, this chapter starts with All Might driving his car, which he calls Hercules. After the explosion that happened, it was the last chapter or a chapter before that, and two guys get out in front of him. All Might then thinks they aren't mere thieves, I can sense murderous intent with them. And then he makes comments that they're trying to split up him and Deku, and that Deku is being targeted by some assassin. The two guys shoot at or throw some like javelin rocket-powered spears at his car, and he jumps out. And then the two guys realize, oh crap, that's All Might. We don't want to mess with him. But then one of the dudes is like, it doesn't matter, look at his whale body, the All Might died a long time ago. And so the other guy then comes to sense and he's like, hey, you're right. And then All Might just goes and says, stand aside. He says, that boy has borne so much more than I ever have, a burden I forced on him. And he makes another comment, and yet he still idolizes me. The day anything happens to that kid is the day I die. So, and during that, we get a whole few flashbacks of like All Might saying to Deku's mother that he'll protect them, and Deku being like, whatever happens to you, I'll be there, changing fate by your side after the whole Night Eye endeavor. And it's just a really cool panel with that. So then Deku zooming around the city, and he says, I'll zigzag toward her, self-relying to prevent her from tracking my trajectory. And then he just talks about some tactics he will use to be able to fight with her. And he says, I'll reach her before she can reposition herself. And then he says, that's when I'll make her reveal All For One and Shigaraki's location. And then a shot comes straight from behind him, and he's able to kick it out of the way of shoot style before anything happens. And then whenever that happens, another one comes by and gets him right around the gut area. And then he says, but how? Hitting me from behind will only be possible with some kind of remote control quirk. Does she have a backup? No, I don't sense any hostility or bloodlust nearby. And he's like, oh no, wait, I didn't consider that before. Of course, All For One would give a contractor something extra, which is her with her new airwalk quirk that we saw in the last chapter. So then Deku's like, she wants to capture me alive. And she's like, but she blocked her so I had to get closer. The shot came behind, a curve. She's like, but then she says, being closer means quicker shots in succession. Even the fourth can't help me move fast enough. It's pretty much like, yeah, Danger Sense won't do that. So he's like, how about he makes a smoke screen? And he does. And then she's like, he's got multiple quirks. And she says, this kid's got a secret for days. And then In, who is the user, the sixth user who had smoke screen quirks, like, hey boy, don't be using all of the smoke screen again. It puts you at a risk. And this is where the title gets dropped, and he says, your kid's a high-speed, long-range mobile cannon. So the second you emerge from the smoke, you're a sitting duck. And Deku's like, I'm not trying to escape, I'm just buying time. And then he's like, don't try it, it's too dangerous. And then somebody else says, I don't recommend it either. And we see it's the third user, and he says, I know exactly what you're trying to do, but you're not proficient enough yet. You've already admitted it yourself. And yeah, then we see something Endeavor said to him about first figure out how to handle two processes at once subconsciously. Once you got that down, try another thing. And then the third user says, you've even been tested my quirk yet. Before adding it to your parallel processes, you need to get a feel for how it works. And then Deku says, it's a bit too late for that. And so he's like, once Lady Nagant tells me what I need to know, when Front Shigaraki are next, I guess I'll learn on the fly. And he uses the thirds, Fajin. He just breaks out a new quirk all of a sudden. And then we see Lady Nagant. She has a, what's it called? A reticule coming out from her gun to her eye, and she sees the smoke. And then Deku throws Gran Torino's cape out. She shoots it, and she's like, a decoy, what's he up to? And then she's like, you've got some nerve. It's his backpack, it was his mask, it was something else thrown by the Black Whip. And then he's like, hide the smoke all you want, you won't get away. Then Deku just releases a bunch of energy and just jumps up and grabs Lady Nagant by the arm. And he says, too bad I'm not in the smoke. So we already know what this power is from the manga already, since I said I'm about a month behind. And but from what we know right now in the story, Fajin is pretty much just a build up and release of power. That's pretty much what Fajin means. So, but yeah, this was a good chapter. I mean, wasn't a lot to it. It's pretty much just Deku using a new quirk, and yeah, it was an interesting chapter. All Might's thing at the beginning is definitely the highlight of the chapter, being that if anything happens to that kid, it will be the day I die. That is a very awesome sentiment in my opinion. So yeah, this is just this chapter. The whole third quirk thing is also very interesting, but I mean, that's just sort of there to add padding to the whole entire situation. And also giving an edge to Nagant. He will have to use his power he's never used before to have any hope at beating her. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this chapter. Thank you very much for watching if you've made it this far, and I hope you will have a good day, or night, or morning, whatever. So thank you again for watching. This is Glowplasma231 out.